Well, hello everybody and welcome to tonight's live stream. I'm Tom Kovichak and this is Tom's Trains and Things, like it says right there. Okay, we got a special guest tonight and I'll let you know who it is in a few minutes, but I'm going to say hello to everybody here. I see CDP 1965. Debbie's in here. She's going to stay here for a few minutes. Scott Eric Catalano, School Kill River Valley. All right. Why are you naked? PDRR Art. Whatever Works Railroad. Frederick Strauss. How you doing? Okay, we got to go up here. Dave, BNSF, Sparky's in the house. Okay, who else do we have here? Humanity Junction, Charles Greason. Okay, the Train Freak. Who else is in here that I missed? Dave's Trains. How you doing tonight? All right, what else? Jeff Brown, a.k.a. Apt Pupil. Okay. All right. Who else? William Smith. And that is not Chinese music. Okay, Scott. All right. Here we go. Let me see. Who else do we have here? I think Brody, 8338. How you doing? I think I hit everybody here. If I missed you, speak up or forever hold your peace. Okay. Now let me see. Go back down to the bottom. Hello, Georgia Sunbelt. Anthony, how you doing? Okay. Steve, 87th PSAP. How you doing? All right. And I think that is everybody tonight. And I see somebody that said hi to Rick, and I see Rick Bailey snuck in the back door over here. And what is this all about? Right here. For your enjoyment and other, please silence your cell phone. Movies about to start. There you go. All right. So what we are going to do now, I'm going to tell you what's going on here first. Okay, we're going to have a special guest, but before that special guest, I'm going to announce that we have two new train members. We have James Sullivan. So let's welcome James Sullivan. All right, thank you, James, for becoming a train crew member. And we also have another James McFarland. All right, thank you, James McFarland, becoming a train crew member. I really appreciate it. So we're going to have a special guest. Then after the special guest, we're going to show a couple of layouts, one from Stephen Rowe and the other one from Steeler Fan 820. And I haven't seen him in here yet tonight, so I hope he shows up. So I see a few more people will drop in. Dave's Trains, Frederick Strauss. Who else? James. Okay, James McFarland's in here. How you doing, James? Thank you for becoming a train crew member. Okay, so after we go through those, we're going to talk a little bit about Arduino and more questions and stuff like that. So we are going to have a special guest, and everybody wondering who is that special guest. So let's get going with that right now. Okay. This guy right here, Humanity Junction, a.k.a. Heath. How you doing, Heath?
What's going on, everybody?
Okay, welcome to the live stream. Heath volunteered
Thank you.
Heath volunteered for the first guest appearance on the live stream. So be gentle with them. Don't get too don't get too critical of him being on here. Okay, who else? We got James Ken Amos Jr., who also popped in. And I think that is everybody. And ZDUSA Railfan and Vinny. So how you doing, everybody? So we're going to ask Heath some questions tonight, and I hope he is prepared for them because they are some doozies. So
I've been studying.
You've been studying. I told him there's going to be a test, and so he was studying for the test. So how did you first get started in model railroading? Way back when?
Probably got started the same way that almost my dad had a O-scale Lionel train set when I was a little kid, and that was what I, first got to see run around in circles. So it was that 3-rail click, click, clack, clack, and that's what got me into trains.
All right. That's an interesting story. I think everybody's either got Lionel or American Flyer in their blood. So,
yep, pretty much.
Yeah. So I know most people saw your video about how you got your name, Humanity Junction, with the little C in the parentheses in there. So how did you come about that name?
Yeah, so I was working for an architectural lighting design firm, and New York City basically asked for people to submit ideas to revitalize Lower Manhattan. And we came up with this idea, myself and 2 of my friends, with this idea that we would create wayfinding kiosks that were shaped like humans. And the idea was to sort of have these human kiosks directing people down to the waterfront to the different stores. So we called it Human City, but also, humanity. So wanted to bring that into it. And Jason, I'm sure there will be plenty of bloopers tonight. You don't have to worry about that.
Here goes another one here. New York City.
New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not from Brooklyn, so I don't quite have the traditional New York accent, but probably have that Northeast accent a little bit that people are used to.
I really don't hear any kind of accent, for especially New York or even New England accent or even New Jersey. Have you lived anywhere else besides New York?
I was born in New Jersey, grew up in Pennsylvania, and have been in New York since like 1991. So
wow. I've
pretty much always been on the East Coast, the Northeast Coast.
I mean, I haven't been in Pittsburgh for, I don't know how many years, since 1980, since the 80s, and people still can recognize that I'm from Pittsburgh.
Vinny's warning us not to say anything bad about Brooklyn, so...
Nothing bad about Brooklyn there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll be nice to Brooklyn.
Okay, we'll be nice to Brooklyn. Okay, so Vinny's from Brooklyn. Okay,
yes, he is.
Gotcha. All right, so
he got out though.
He got out. Yeah, I don't know why he went to Arizona from Brooklyn though, but I don't know.
Too hot for me, I'll tell you.
Personal preference, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. You have a lot of things going on in that small apartment, and
that's for sure.
You are probably the best example for people who say, I don't have enough room to start a model railroad. And, in my model railroading for beginners series, I've always said that you could always do something just to get yourself started on there. But what do you have that you could show everybody about your layout?
Yeah, I mean, what you're looking at, this bench right here, this is pretty much my entire space. The module that I've been working on is just tipped up on edge in front of me. One of my next modules is right here to the left side. I've got all my tools hiding in the back. I just, depending on what project I'm working on, I just sort of reorganize stuff. And this is a up-down desk. So when I'm done working on stuff at the end of the night, I actually raise the desk all the way up, and I basically store all of the trains and everything in drawers underneath it. And to answer Sparky's question, the apartment, they say it's like 700 square feet according to the realtors, but it's actually less than that. But yeah, it's a 1-bedroom apartment. It's basically two studio apartments that have been combined. So two small, 250, 275 square foot apartments that were combined. So one half is the bedroom and the other half is the family room and the kitchen.
So that's a pretty small spot there.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course I'd love something bigger, but the reality is being forced into such a small place made me really sort of look at what I really wanted to do and what was really important to me. And I really like the whole modular thing, which originally I didn't think I would. I originally wanted, I really wanted that big basement layout that you see in everybody's YouTube videos. But having the modules kind of forces me to be social. I have to go out and get together with other people. So yeah. And Vinny, I live in Manhattan on the Upper West Side.
Okay, I was putting those questions in the queue, but you already got.
Oh well, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm beating you to the punch. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Well, can you show a little bit about the layout there, or your T track?
Yeah, I can try and pull it down without breaking anything. One thing that I keep running into, unfortunately, is that I just keep breaking things. Oh, and of course the camera.
Oh, your screen went out. Yeah.
All these cameras are like, 30 seconds and then they go out. Well, if there's not technical problems, it's not a live stream.
There you go.
Scott says he sells track modules. Interesting. But yeah, so you can kind of see it up in this other camera. The T-Track module standard is, it's basically 2 main lines. And then anything else you do is pretty much within the module. So I stuck with the 2 main lines, and I wanted to primarily do passenger train stuff. So it's 24 inches by 13 inches, and there's a lot of stuff in a little space. A lot of stuff. So, yeah, I think Sparky's going to be keeping track of our bloopers tonight for us.
Oh, he said blooper number 1. There you go.
Always somebody giving me a hard time.
Yeah.
Always somebody. Let's see if we can get this one back. This is a better view. Yeah, so the overhead camera, this one here is a GoPro. The camera up to the side is a Sony camera, and then the face cam that's in front is a Canon DSLR. And these are basically what I use to record all my videos. They pretty much all get recorded right here in front of me on the desk and edited here and run the trains here, and everything happens right here.
No pressure.
Not at all. Not
okay. At all. So what was a recent attraction to model railroading? How did you get back into it?
I've always been a creative person, or I should say I've always wanted to be creative. And I hadn't really done my own creative project in a long time. and I was kind of just going through stuff and, you know, kind of remembered trains, and the girlfriend said, hey, like, let's do a Christmas tree. And I said, oh, let's put a model train around it. So, you know, next thing you know, I did this, I had this, you know, little Christmas tree setup that I did that was, you know, 11-inch radius N scale track with a little trolley, and watched a bunch of videos online, and, you know, created this little diorama with a little Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
That's impressive. I like that little train going around the tracks there. Now you know, I told you that, you know, they're going to be ragging on you a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I've been catching the chat.
Patch of static grass underneath his nose.
Yeah. I tried to get it to stand up a little straighter this morning, but it wasn't working.
And now
Scott's making fun of my hairline. Thanks, Scott.
You need it on the hair. That's why you have it above, you know, your hairline above the, out of sight there.
Exactly. It just keep raising the chair up further and further.
There you go. So here's one from Sparky that you didn't catch. What's the price of something that's small? We're all want to know that.
Yeah. I'd love to say you could get it for $3,000 a month, but you know, you can't. It's more than that. Yeah, it's you're definitely paying for the location. We're very lucky here. I'm right next to a very big park. So even though we're in this city, I do feel like I'm, you know, still able to connect to nature. Some people may remember I did a video, living amongst trains. That's the park that's right near my house, or right near my apartment. So, yeah.
Yeah.
One day, maybe we'll move out of the city and we'll, you know, we'll get a little McMansion. Go from there.
I remember it was years ago, probably about 12 or 13 years ago, I had a job offered for West Point Military Academy, and you know, and
beautiful up there.
Yeah, it is. I spent a lot of time up there previous to that, working for a contractor at West Point, and I looked into the rent up there in Newburgh, and just a small apartment like you were talking about, like 700 square foot, was like $1,500. That's 60 miles north of New York City, and that was like 12 years ago. So that's pretty expensive. I said, no, thank you. He had another one that he was promising me in Fort Riley, and I wanted that one so bad, but he said, no, I really need you up in West Point, and I said, no, thank you. So that was
before all this. Before this stuff started, the plan was kind of to work a couple more years here in the city, but get myself into a position where I could work remotely for whatever company I was with at the time, which, you know, I was definitely on track to do. And then I could move basically wherever in the country, but still have my, you know, New York City paying job, because most of my work is traveling. But now with all this stuff going on, you know, we'll have to see what happens, but the goal is to move out of the city at some point, and my goal is to hopefully have a basement one day.
That's my goal, but you can't find that in Florida.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
or you have to build a shed, like I seen Jim Tedesco. He just got his new house up in Sebring, and he bought a 20 by 30 shed for the backyard. So. And that's ideal, because he could do rail fanning there also, because he's got some tracks in the back. So that was a pretty good buy
really?
there.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So who needs a basement? Yep. Just sit out in the backyard and watch the real trains, and then go into the shed and run your trains there. So that is probably everybody's dream, to be able to work like that. Yeah, in Florida, basement is called a pool. There you go.
Yeah. Yep.
I see that. Yeah, or a garage. Yeah, but yeah, my daughter used to live in over that way. I'm not quite sure where it was, but she was by the shipyards, and she lived there
Over
for
in
2
Brooklyn?
years. Yeah. Let me see. Oh, I can't remember how many years ago. Too many years ago, but she was a photographer, and she made more money walking dogs than she did in her
Really?
photography. Yeah, she got $20 an
Wow.
hour for walking dogs, and she would walk, get a bunch of people in an apartment complex and walk $5 or 5 dogs at a time. So she'd make $100 an hour doing that. So she
Yeah,
made out.
if you're willing to hustle, you can make a lot of money in this city doing a lot of strange things.
Yeah, but she realized that the city life and photography wasn't for her when she's sitting having coffee with this 50-year-old guy that was she worked with, and he said, "I'm still waiting on my big break."
Yeah. I mean,
So
most of my life I've done theater or live events or some sort of, something in the entertainment industry. So
yeah.
New York was kind of, always the place to be.
Yeah, the one good thing about her working in New York, she got in a production company. I think it was ABC Productions, and she was in a couple of movies. One of her movies made it to the Tribeca Film Festival, and got to see her name in credits. So that was a big highlight of living in New York City. But let's get back to you. So, if you were able to expand, what would your ideal layout be? It'd probably be something bigger than T-Track.
Yeah, where I'm hesitating is if I was going to expand, it depends on how much space I could get, but I don't know if I would stick with N scale or if I'd move to HO scale. I grew up, after my dad had Lionel Trains, I was all about HO scale. I'd go to all the Greenberg train shows and buy all the Ather and Blue Box HO kits, and that's sort of what I grew up on. But I also love how much N scale stuff you can get into a space. My dream layout is to do a New York Central, based layout, but that the circus and carnival comes to town. So the New York Central would own the tracks. It'd be, freight trains and whatnot, but then there'd be the big, huge siding that when the circus came into town, they'd pull the trains in and set up the tents and, have a midway and all the carnival attractions and stuff like that. So that would probably definitely be the dream layout, would be something big enough to have a, carnival on one side and a circus on the other side, and, maybe some New York Central industries in the middle.
So that's impressive. What about the circus train? How did you get interested in the circus train?
That's a great question. I have no idea. I actually, I did actually run away with the circus. When I got out of college, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And I actually joined the Big Apple Circus and traveled with them for about 8 months. The Big Apple Circus did not travel by train, but we did. We were in the same area as the Ringling Brothers Circus that was traveling by train at the time. So we did get. I did get to see the train. I think part of it is that now that the circus is pretty much gone in that form, and the circus and the carnivals no longer travel by train, there's a certain aspect of it that I want to kind of save the history of. Before the internet, the only way you got to see an elephant was when the circus came to town. The circus brought, I hate to say it, but, brought the freaks and brought the, all the animals and all this stuff. And, it was almost kind of the early internet. So I think a lot of it is that sort of aspect of American history and keeping that alive.
That's interesting. I don't know how many people here thought about running away to the circus. I mean, I've seen the circus when I was a kid, but I never wanted to run away to the circus. But that's an interesting way to get into liking all the circus stuff.
Yeah, I've always thought it's really amazing what the human body can do when you push it to the edge. And I've always sort of thought that, circus was, one expression of that. I mean, now we have all these X Games and all these sports and stuff where, people jump off buildings or whatever. But, before that, it was kind of like the circus was where you got to see, 8 guys on motorcycles get into a steel cage and ride the motorcycles around. You got to see people fly across the circus tent from one trapeze to the other. So it was kind of this magical and unimaginable world. So it was something I was really drawn to.
So what did you actually do when you was in the circus?
At first, I started off as an usher. That's how I got in. They, when they come to New York, they look for a lot of ushers. So I got in through that. And then I was on ring crew. And I always describe ring crew as when the lights go out, we would run into the ring. We would move stuff around and then run back out of the ring. And then the lights would come back up.
So is that what you got interested in what you're doing today, doing live events?
No, I actually kind of grew up doing it. I actually thought I wanted to be an actor, but then I realized I was a terrible actor. But I still loved being around theater and involved in theater. And in elementary school, I used to go and turn the lights on the stage before theater rehearsal would start. And I learned that I could make a lot of money working backstage in theater. So I kind of have always been very technical. So I still, it's still kind of a passion of mine. And it's funny, I see some people making fun of me for being a clown, but clowning was the part of performing that I actually really liked. Clowns have this very explorative nature. Kind of like they're just a little kid exploring the world, but then they also have this sort of wisdom where they try and, like troubleshoot things and figure things out and, work towards solving problems. So I do sort of look at clowning as an approach to life, not just a character. And I do really kind of like that art form a lot.
That's an amazing art form. I remember I used to be scared of clowns when I was a kid, but then,
there are a lot of people that are.
Yeah. But then, I got growing up seeing Red Skelton.
Yeah.
As a clown. Yeah. And, that changed my perspective of clowns right there. So
Buster Keaton is, an amazing example.
And also grew up with the Three Stooges.
Yeah. Yep. Another great example.
Yeah. Three Stooges used to perform at a park close to my house. It's called Kennywood Park. I'm sure the guys from around Pittsburgh know of that place. There was a lot of stuff going on back then in the day that Heath is getting into in the day part of it. So,
yeah.
What about?
I'm just reading reading what Sparky's saying, and it's kind of funny. He says he was following a dream as an adolescent, and I think it's kind of funny. We're all here playing with trains, which, I think some of us do at least to keep us young. And, do any of us really want to grow up? So yeah.
Yeah. Rob says there's a bearded lady that lives next to me and a chimp down the road. He always has something good to say on there. Okay. Yeah. So You're at 397 subscribers right now. So he needs a few more subscribers to hit 400. And are you going to do a contest at 500?
Yep. Yeah, I actually have here on the side my HO boxcar, or not my, but an HO boxcar, an I Love New York, and an N-Scale I Love New York boxcar. And the plan is when I get to 500, these are going to be the giveaways. John from Schuylkill River Valley suggested that I hold a contest where people have to write a 500-word essay on something they learned on my videos. So that might be one option for entry. But if other people have other suggestions, I'm open to that as well.
All right. Here's one. Let me put this up here right now. This is about the park that was next to me. Kennywood's open. Pull up your zipper. We used to say Kennywood's open when your zipper was down. That was the thing about that was the thing about Pittsburgh. Okay, so at 500, so everybody start subscribing to him if you haven't done so already, and get him up close to the 500 subscriber mark so he could start doing his contest. I see Corey Kluken is in here. He must be from around Pittsburgh also. So I think I had one more. Okay, what impressed you the most now about model railroading as compared to when you was a kid?
I look at the Athearn Blue Box kits, and I look at some of my older N-scale model trains, and I cannot believe the detail that is now on these models. It is just, you know, the printing and the I guess, you know, I guess it's silk screening. I don't even really know how they do it, but it's just really amazing, the detail in an N-scale boxcar. And it's, you know, it's very different now than it was in the late 80s, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's a lot of detail in a boxcar. Okay, just subscribe. Number 400, William Smith. Okay, thank you. The train freak says, if your fly is open, we say XYZ, examine your zipper. There you go.
That's what we set up in the Northeast as well.
Oh yeah. All right.
XYZ.
XYZ. So does anybody have any questions for Heath about anything? It's up. It's open. Okay. Within reason.
Come on. Yeah.
Within reason about model railroading.
With Rob and Jason and a couple other people in the chat, I think we need to be careful opening the questions up too far.
Yeah. Okay. I won't say everything. Just to model railroading.
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you.
Okay. So Dave BNSF said usually pad printing. Okay. So don't know what pad printing is, but Dave, what's pad printing? I'll put that up here because I don't know. So we'll wait for him. Okay. William Smith says, any luck with your DT602?
Actually, yes. Was to what they call IPL, the firmware. They said it took them one try and it updated right away, and they're sending it back. So I should get it on Thursday, and I'll definitely put up a new video basically just about the process and everything. But it looks like for some reason you need a Digitrax control station to be able to update the firmware, which is kind of a bummer. But yeah, that it is what it is.
Okay, so we got a answer here. Here we go. Pad printing is how cars are lettered, also called tampo printing. Well, that doesn't say very much, Rob.
That's like when the definition in the dictionary uses the same word that you're trying to find the answer to. Yeah.
Okay, so all right, here we go. Are you going to build another module?
Yes. This is actually, can't even see. This is actually another module here. It's a curved module. There's another module here on the floor. So yes, I've already got more modules, and I am building more modules. The one that's on the table now, I'm gonna pause on for a little bit and start doing some other things. I want to be able to run some trains, so I think I'm gonna put enough modules together to make a loop, and don't know where I'll set it up, but the idea is that I'll be able to run some trains with it.
Okay, very cool. Okay, Scott says, does your girlfriend like trains?
She's indifferent. It is an interesting. It's tough because we're in a 1-bedroom apartment and they do take up a lot of room. So I have to be, very considerate in, how much stuff I have, how much it kind of gets spread out around the apartment. So she doesn't, I think it's sort of, I don't know, it's not really indifferent, but she doesn't, she's not into the hobby, but she doesn't hate them either. Sparky saying something in the comments. One of my thoughts is actually to take a 20-volt DeWalt battery, mount it into. They make little holders for it where you can attach, little, adjustable DC power supplies. And with my portable control box that I built in, I think it's video number 2 or something like that. My original thought with that control box was that I could take that and a module outside and run it all off of a 20-volt DeWalt battery.
Hey, there you go.
Yep.
Okay, let me see. Here we go. Here's a better explanation. Stamp printing is using moving stamp pads on a production line. Many times there are as many pads as there are colors. Okay, so they just stamp different colors onto the car. Okay, I get it now. Basically like a printing press almost, except the paper goes down through it and it runs over rolls, and each roll has a different color on it. So I got it. So just got a tropical storm warning that's coming up towards Maryland there.
So many storms. Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at the thing, and it said that let me see, about 8 o'clock tonight it would be just south of Myrtle Beach. So it's coming up that way. Okay, let me see. Okay, Rapido has a video from their China factory showing some of the tampo process. Very cool stuff. Okay, that's very interesting. We'll have to see if we could find a link to that. Go on the Rapido site, and Crazy Joe says, that's why I'm single. I have my chopper and model trains. There you go. I lucked out because although Debbie doesn't like model trains, she tolerates it. And she encourages.
Yes, exactly.
She encourages me to continue. Okay, so let me go into some more chat here. Okay, so I guess Sparky put up a link. Is that the link for the video? Oh, that's your channel there?
Okay. It's my channel. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sparky actually had a question that I don't know if you saw, but he was asking what what model, train creators I watched, as well as why I decided to do a model railroad YouTube channel.
I saw that.
And yeah, and I guess, I sort of, you find the big ones first, I guess. So sort of, just like everybody else, I guess I found the Luke Towan and the Kathy Millett, is that right? And, people like that. And then I started finding like Vinny and Sparky, and I got tuned into the US. Tom is ignoring you, Sparky. Yes. I got tuned into the live streams, the US live streams. And I really liked, especially in this time, I've been unemployed since March. So, it was a really great community. And why I started doing videos of model trains was more that I feel like a lot of the future of what I do is going to be online, and I feel like I needed to learn as much as I could about producing videos and about how all this online stuff works. And after boy, I totally lost my train of thought. Where's that sign you've got, Tom?
Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah. There you go. Yes. There you go. So it was, after the Christmas train, that I made, I kind of realized that documenting the process I thought would be really interesting. I think a lot of what people put out there is very perfect, and I wanted to sort of show the process, and that it's not perfect. So even though my videos are, edited, and, I try and edit them down to be short and, concise, I'm still trying to show the messier side of it, the problems, the struggles, the what goes wrong, how you solve those problems. Because I think that's a lot about what model trains is about. At least for me, it's a lot about just problem solving and figuring stuff out. So I like, kind of videoing that process. And Epic just asked, why did I choose Digitrax? And because as a lot of people know, I've had some drama with the Digitrax throttle. I actually didn't choose Digitrax. I actually chose Digikai's. I looked at the Digitrax starter set, the NCE starter set, and then the Digikai's DR5000. And dollar for dollar, the DR5000 just provides so much more, in its command station than you get with the starter sets for Digitrax or NCE. And the Digitrax throttles, as well as any LocoNet devices, work with the DR5000. The local club in New Jersey that I want to join is a Digitrax club. So the idea is if I got a DT602, I could use it both with my command station of choice, which is the Digikai's DR5000, as well as at the club on their layout, which is all Digitrax.
Okay, I want to say something to Sparky. I'm not ignoring you. Okay, I had it in the queue, but it was the first one up on the queue. But that's when I deleted the queue. So I deleted your question, but I wasn't ignoring you, like you said right there. Okay, I got a few more on the queue. Okay, you already talked about Epic's one.
Yep.
Okay, is this a live blooper? Yes, it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, all live streams are live bloopers. Okay, so here's one here. For your Engage, what brand of engine do you like to use?
Most of my locomotives are from Broadway Limited. I don't know why. They just are. I don't really have an opinion. Yeah, I've actually a lot of the circus stuff that I have, actually, they're all model power, but have been repainted. So I actually mostly have model power DC locomotives that I need to convert to DCC. And then all of my DCC stuff is Broadway Limited. And yes, Jason, they are fancy, but what I really like about them is the sound system. I like that the bass was basically removed from the locomotive, and they made it a separate component, because I think, I think that's the only way you're going to get good sound out of an N-scale locomotive is to separate the bass from the highs and the mids.
Yeah, Broadway Limited is fancy. Okay, here's one from Scott. Do you make your own modules, or are they kits?
Yeah, so when I was looking for kits, I found the main company that a lot of people uses, which is Masterpiece. But what I actually went with a company called CMR. It's CMR Products. They're a family run company, and they're based in Pittsburgh. There you go, Tom. Another Pittsburgh reference.
All right.
And they make them all locally. They, cut them in their, they cut them locally and everything like that. So I went with CMR, and I've been happy with them. They supposedly use, I think they said it's like weather treated wood. Scott, you're a part of CMR. Very curious to talk to you later, but yeah, they've been very great. They've made small changes to the modules for me without charging me anything. Their shipping's quick. The Masterpiece modules, I've seen them, they tend to warp. A lot of people have had to add stiffeners to them because they warp, and the guys with CMR are doing something different. It's actually funny, Scott's mentioning that they cut the wood in Ohio, but the guys that own CMR are in Pittsburgh. And when all of this showstopper stuff started, they weren't sure that they were going to be able to drive the stuff over to Ohio to get it cut and then get it back to Pittsburgh to ship out, because they were afraid they were going to close the borders. So I have another double wide module. So this is a double wide here. So it's a single, and then a double is 24 inches. So I have another double wide module that they weren't sure if they were going to be able to get to me, because it had to cross state borders.
That's an amazing story about the showstopper. How things changed. Yeah, Dave says. Go ahead.
I was going to say to them the business is local, but it's so close to drive across state borders that local to them is across state lines.
Yeah.
So they were almost impacted.
Yeah. Yeah, Dave says small world. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Anthony says, how far is the club for you, and where'd they find the space in the city?
Yeah. So I'm a part of the Brooklyn N-Track Club. The Brooklyn N-Track Club does not have any space for trains. To get to where they have their club meetings, it's about an hour away on a subway and then a bus. The club that has a permanent layout is I think it's called the Model Railroad Club in Edison, New Jersey. To get there, I take a subway to a train, to another train, to a taxi. And that takes me about an hour and 15 minutes to get to, but they're out in New Jersey. So it's a bit of a trek to get to. So as far as I know, there are no clubs in Manhattan, in New York City. And The closest that I know that has a permanent layout is Big Bill in Staten Island, and I'm definitely hoping that I'll be able to get out to his layout soon. But yeah, unfortunately, I haven't been able to get to the club much because all this stuff kind of started, and I don't really feel comfortable getting on all those different methods of public transportation at this point. But I'm hoping soon to work something out to get there.
Yeah, that is quite a trek to get to a model railroad club. Yeah. I mean, the closest one to me is about an hour or maybe a little bit over an hour just driving up there, but I haven't gone up there. So I can't complain when I hear what you have to go through for that.
Yeah, the club is really impressive. They have a huge N scale layout, and they have an HO scale layout that is maybe 4 times the size of the N scale, maybe even bigger, and they're in the process of doubling it. So it's just huge. Tuesday nights they do operating sessions, and then Saturday they're basically open to the public, and they have open sessions.
All right.
So, yeah.
Sparky says, I was just going to ask about Big Bill. How far away are you from Big Bill?
I don't know. I haven't actually worked it out. Staten Island's public transportation is not great, so more than likely, Big Bill would pick me up or something like that. But we're talking about doing a Living Amongst Trains episode together, collaborating on it. Big Bill, if you don't know, used to work for the MTA, so he has a lot of connections and knows a lot of great train spots. So I'm hoping to get out with him soon and do some collaboration stuff of the different trains in the area.
Yeah, he's pretty knowledgeable on there. He was a motorman. Okay. So, yeah. Georgia Sunbelt, no clubs near me. So,
yeah.
George Anthony is way down in the boonies. I think there is one on somewhere in Anne Arundel County. I'm not sure, but what's his name? Zane. Can't remember his first name. He has a big one in his basement. But he used to be the organizer of the train shows up there in Timonium. So anyway, is there any other questions for Heath? He's taken up almost the whole hour. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Tom, I thought I was only going to be on for a short amount of time, and you were going to get to some other stuff. I don't know what's going on.
This might have to be a 2-hour stream for me to get to the other stuff, but what you have to say is pretty interesting, and everybody's commenting on it and asking questions. Chazco put up the link I saw earlier for the video for Rapido. So if you go back in the chat, you'll see the link for the Rapido video about the printing. I'm assuming that's what it was. Is that what it was, Chazco? I have to look back in here. It was a while, so I don't know if I can get back that far. Okay, Sparky says you hit 401, and I know there was another one that you said you hit 404 subscribers. So, all right.
Looks like 406.
406.
Thank you,
all
everyone.
Right. Let's keep them coming. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, Chasco put up Rapido train video in the chat at 8:46. So check that out.
Yep.
If you want to see what that pad printing is. All right.
The whole club thing is interesting too. It's like, you've in Europe, it seems like they mostly make these exhibition layouts, and then they take your layout that they have at home to the train clubs. Here in the US, we seem to have either, fixed club layouts, or we have, T-track or N-track or whatever modules that go to clubs. So it is kind of interesting seeing the difference between the people that sort of have their private basement or loft layouts that they basically work on by themselves versus the layouts that, people bring and collaborate on at clubs or at different train shows.
Yeah, that's interesting how they're different in Europe. I know Robert Sacco, he has his layout at home. He has a club layout, and then at the train shows, he brings in a small O-scale layout that it's just a little oval. He's done that for the past couple of years. So that's amazing. 406. Okay, let's get him up a little bit higher. Who was it earlier said that they would do it after, but you could do it right now too. Just open up another browser window when you click on the link that Sparky has up there. Where does he have the link? Okay. Right there. So there's no excuses. Go over to Heath's channel and subscribe. Just open it up in a new browser so you could keep this up here and so you could see Heath over here. So, all right. Okay, so what's he say? The club I was had a fixed HO and module HO and O-scale layout. Yeah, a lot of the clubs do that. Like the one up in Fort Myers or North Fort Myers, they have an HO scale layout that I did a lot of videos on it. They have an N scale layout, and they bring portions of the N scale layout to the show. And they always build an N scale layout to give away at a contest for the show. They have a raffle, and it's usually about $500 or $600 worth of layout and everything on it, the DCC system on it, and the scenery, everything. And they raffle them off every year at their shows, which is pretty cool. I never win. Never win. I buy $10, $15 worth of tickets and never win. I'm always waiting. They said they're gonna announce it at 3:00 on Sunday, and I'm waiting for a phone call because I go on Saturday, and I'm just sitting there. I say, okay, wait, now it's my turn. But I haven't won it. I've been going to those shows for like 6 or 7 years since I've been living down here, and never won. One of these days, but what am I going to do with it? I don't have the room for it. I have to put it in the kitchen.
That's actually something. The club that I'm a part of in New Jersey that has the fixed layouts. There's not really enough people anymore to really financially support the club. So what they do is they've actually joined with the New Jersey NTRAC group. So the New Jersey NTRAC modular group that brings all the modules to the shows is a part of the model train club in New Jersey that has the permanent layout, so that the permanent guys will go run on the module guys at the shows, and the module guys will run on the permanent layouts when there's not a show.
All right. So Train Freak says, so what does it take to start a club? I wouldn't know because I've never started one. So is there anyone in here that knows the answer to that question? Because I sure don't. Okay.
Where there's a will, there's a way, they say, right?
That's right. Now, I know there was somebody, about 20 miles north of here that contacted me, and he said he was looking for donations to start a club. Well, I says, I could donate my time, but I can't donate a lot of money. Yeah. But that I think you need a lot of money to do that. You need a building, a lot of people. Now, I went to a train layout club that was actually in a building that has a flea market every Saturday. And they were inside there. They was renting a space in there for that. But somebody had bought the building. This was in Altoona when we went up to Horseshoe Curve. Actually, it was a little bit outside Altoona. But I was there probably the last day that they were set up in that building, and I took some videos in there, and they were looking for another place. They had to vacate it within the next month. And I found out that they did find another home for it, but that's some of the possibilities, that if you're renting, you could you always have that possibility that you could get kicked out of it. But like the one up in North Fort Myers, they own that building. So I guess it took them a long time. And Anthony, Georgia Sunbelt, I just remembered there is a club in Severna Park, the old railroad station there, right off of Ritchie Highway. There's a club there. You ought to check into it. And they've had a couple of articles in Model Railroading Magazine about that club. If I find the information, well, I don't have your email, but email me so I get your email, and I'll send you the information. But it's in Severna Park. I'm not sure what that road is, the back road, but it's right off of Ritchie Highway, just right back. It's right along the B&A bike trail. It used to be the B&A railroad that run from Baltimore to Annapolis, and they turned that into a bike trail. But that's the answer to your question, because my train of thought has left the station. It might take me a while to answer a question, but I remembered that. Okay, so I got off the subject. Okay. Severna Park, he says Severna Park, 60 plus miles away. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're way down in there. Yeah, I just found out that my granddaughter, who's 17, has a boyfriend down in your area. And she said, my daughter says that she has to drive 50 miles to get down there. And she met him through her cousin at a high school function back, while they were still in school. But I guess that high school goes all the way up to the lower end of Anne Arundel County. But I thought, I figured that was kind of a far distance to go to see a boyfriend, but I don't know. Kids these days,
The things we do for love.
Yes, we do. Okay, let me look at some of these things here. Okay. Hello. Kando Stuff. I haven't seen you here in a while. He just dropped in. All right. Okay. Miles Junction N-Scale says his club is in a historic old depot. That's just like the one in Severna Park. It's an old depot. Okay. What's my email? It's in the description right down there. tomstrainsandthings at gmail.com.
He was actually asking for my email.
Okay.
I'm
your email?
I'm in the important one.
Okay, you're the important one today. Okay. All right. Can I put it up on there? Do you mind if I put it up there?
Oh, you can put it up. Yeah.
Okay.
It's on my about page on YouTube. It's my YouTube email address. So
I know everybody asked about that, but nobody ever looks at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, let me see if I can bring it up here.
I've actually filled out an about page, so
Yeah, I filled it out, but nobody ever looks at it. Okay.
Jason, we don't need your help.
Okay. There it is. Okay. It's in the chat. Okay. Okay. Steeler fan says, we meet all the time and do local shows for charity. Though we had a home and it was SD without telling us. Sold. Okay, sold
Probably
without
sold.
telling us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's too bad that stuff like that happens. You want me to put Heath in timeout now? He thinks he's the important one. I was on, this is the first time I got put in timeout. I was on Go Via After Dark. I don't know why. I didn't say it. I was responding to Container Man, and I said something about must be bedtime, and I got put in a timeout. So that's the very first time I got. Why? What was wrong with that?
Yeah, Sparky
Okay.
put me in a timeout on his channel already once.
Yeah. Oh man, I can add to your subscribers since I have subscribed for quite some time now. Well, let me see. I got a couple of channels, so maybe I could subscribe with the other channels. How about that? Okay. Yeah. Joe Rader said, Sparky made me fill out my about page. Nobody ever looks at the about page. I know whenever somebody asks about my email, Sparky puts in there, look at it as about page and click on the email thing. And I always have it listed on the in the description too. James Galton says he filled out his about page. All right. So people are starting to fill out their about page.
I think the about pages help with the recommendations. Like if you want your videos to start being recommended on the homepage, I think having the about page and having all those keywords,
yeah,
I think it helps. I'm not really sure.
I don't know.
And Rob, funny you say that. I was actually thinking about getting some, but I didn't get a chance to make it to the store.
I don't have
Tom's
any
like, what did he say?
Oh, yeah, I'm just reading that about it. Yeah, I'm just reading it. Yeah, I got plenty of Doritos here. In fact, I got 2 bags. Yeah. I think there's one for Heath.
You could have sent me one, Tom.
And there's mine. Next time I'll do that.
Although, Tom, I do think the secret's out. I mean, so I got to talk to Tom on video a little earlier in the week, and he did not have Doritos behind him. So those Doritos are actually just a prop for the show.
Not really. I just finished the Doritos when I was talking to you. I had to go down and get another bag, and then this weekend we was out, so I had to get something to munch on when we was out this weekend. So that's the munch on bag. So I got a little sleepy, so when I'm driving, so every once in a while I got to munch on something to stay awake. But that's why I have 2 bags of Doritos, and then there's 2 full bags sitting on top of the refrigerator right now. But I always have Doritos. It's just not always back here. You know, I have another computer where I do editing, so I'll take them in there too. But yeah, the Doritos weren't back here when I was talking to Heath earlier. Okay. ZD USA Rail has been wanting to post something up there. My dad and I are going to head to Horseshoe Curve for the weekend of the 15th, and it's going to be my 3rd time being there. Okay, good deal, ZD. Glad to hear that. I see you always do the videos about Horseshoe Curve. It's a nice place to visit. I was there once. I hope to go back again. I was supposed to go up and see my daughters this weekend, but I just texted her this morning, says we're not going to make the trip because of all this COVID stuff going on, even though I don't really agree with all the stuff. Now, okay, wait a minute.
Is it time? Is it happening, Tom? Oh, there we go.
Okay, so my neighbor, she works in a nursing home, and she called me yesterday and she says she tested positive for COVID-19. So she tested twice last week and she was tested again today. So that's 3 times the positive comes up, but it's only one person. So you get 3, boom, 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 every time she gets tested. Now, is every healthcare person that tests positive get multiple tests? And she says in her facility, yes. In fact, they test the employees like once a month and that's just a nursing home. So what's going on in the hospitals? But Florida, I don't know. Okay, that's enough of that rant. Okay, ran over. Okay. Yeah, false counts. That's what Eric says. Steeler fan says, layouts, layouts, layouts. Okay, let's get back on the agenda. Okay, so first of all, we have two. Okay, before we get started on that, is there any more questions for Heath in the chat? I don't know. Did you see any more in there?
One thing I can answer, yes, the goal I have, as Dave BNSF N-Scale mentioned, Microtrains has a huge amount of Ringley Brothers cars in N-Scale, and I've been collecting all of them. I've also been collecting a lot of Royal American Show, which is a carnival. So I have a lot of Royal American Show cars as well. So the goal is to have a circus side and a carnival side separate. And yes, ideally, a lot of the stuff will be animated. Sparky, right. Come on now.
Good deal. All right, we got a super chat from Rick Bailey. Okay, hold your ears. Thank you very much, Rick. I really appreciate it. There you go. All right. No more questions for Heath. Bring down the curtain. Oh, is that what you were responding to Sparky about? That was his comment?
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Exactly. Okay. Corey, okay. He says he lives right outside of North Hills between Russellton and Gibsonia. Is it, when you say Gibbs, is that Gibsonia? It's been a while since I've been up that way. Okay. My sister lives up in right off the Butler Turnpike exit. That sounds like clown music. Oh my goodness. I got it. Yeah, it probably is clown music. I got a lot of stuff off of whatchamacallit, Epidemic Sound, where I have a link in the description where you could get 30 days free. But anyway, I was thanking Rick Bailey for that, and I really appreciate that. But there were a couple of videos that I wanted to show you. I think this first one is from, let me see, Stephen Rowe. He is a train crew member, and I'm going to put this up here. And if you got any more questions for Heath, we'll put that up there after we do these two videos. We got one from Stephen Rowe, and we got one from Steeler fan. So I seen him popping in, so we're going to be doing him also. So this first one is from Stephen Rowe. So he did it with his cell phone in portrait mode. Now he has some kind of commercial in the background. It's not very loud. I think I have the volume down a little bit on this one, but he's got a lot of stuff. So I'll be quiet so you can take a look at it.
million bottles. That's because lipozene really works. And to prove it, we conducted our very own clinical study where we took 2 groups of people and gave only 1 group lipozene. Neither group was asked to diet or exercise. The results? The group taking lipozene lost over 400% more weight. But here's where it gets even more exciting. 78% of the weight they lost was pure body fat, not water. Fat. Now you can lose 4 times more weight. Just add lipozene for only $29.95. Call right now and we'll double your order for free and ship it free too. And for a limited time, we'll double the size of each bottle for free. So now you have 4 times the lipozene for just $29.95. Plus, you'll get Metabola Plus to help boost your energy and metabolism. But you must call. Call 800-535-9891. 800-535-9891. 800-535-9891. If you use a CPAP system, chances are you're not really getting it clean. The health risks of a contaminated CPAP can be risky because it introduces germs into your CPAP machine, mask, hose, and chamber, leading to multiple health problems from viruses and infections. Introducing CurePap, the portable CPAP cleaner that kills more than 99% of the bacteria that can cause health problems. Use the same revolutionary technology used by hospitals with CurePap. Activated oxygen is used to disinfect and neutralize bacteria and mildew. It's a scientific breakthrough no CPAP user should be without.
Well, yes, he's got a crap load of stuff there. What Rob said. That's Stephen Rowe. Okay. And here's one from Grandpa. I think you already answered him. That was cool getting to know you better. Okay, here is if you could go back in time and do it all over again, would you have Doritos this time? Okay, I didn't see the end of it. I thought that was a serious question there. You can never get a serious question out of Rob. Okay. Or a serious statement out of Rob. But anyway, that was Stephen Rose. Now, I got one from Steeler Fan also. He's got a video and he's got some pictures in there also. Let me see if I could pull up these pictures first. He's got 9 pictures in there. And we'll put them up there. And also in portrait mode of his layout. And then he's got a cab view video of the layout, which is pretty cool. And this is Steeler Fan 820. So, Steeler Fan, if you're still in here, you could answer some questions or give a little commentary in the chat about your layout if you would like. One more. I need one of those right there. All right. That takes up the entire wall. Did you build that on your own or did you buy that? Okay, so there is all the pictures. Now, let me put his video up there. Okay, here we go. The cab view. Or you could hear the cows. Okay, that is Steeler Fan. He has a 10 by 12 layout, so that's very impressive for a 10 by 12 layout there. And that thing up on the wall, his display case was homemade, so that's amazing. That is pretty cool. Okay, I think somebody asked Heath a question, but he answered that in the chat. Okay, Stephen87 asked if about the storage units. That's a good idea there. Okay, Grandpa Rel says that's a cool layout. Yeah, so, all right. Now, I seen one up here from Sparky. What did he say? Okay, need super chats for that. There you go. All right. So, yeah, there's some storage units down in Annapolis where people were living also. But I guess it's a cheap way to go.
You get a gym membership to shower, and you
there you go.
Your, little studio.
You got the YMCA right up the
Exactly.
right up the block.
Yep.
Okay. Actually, couldn't figure out frame rate. It was only speed step 6. Okay. So it looked kind of fast. So that was a really 15 frames per second to make it look a lot faster. Okay, smooth running track work. There you go. That's what I was saying. There's a lot of good detail in there also. Okay, Jason, you can't install one of those Mitsubishi units high up on the wall. Okay. Okay. Okay, was that N-gauge or HO? I think. What is that, Frank? That looks like HO, I think. But I'll let Frank answer that. Darren smell check sucks. It still comes out pretty good. We know what he means. It's N-gauge. It's HO. What is it? Okay, so anyway, that is the two layouts that I was going to go over. And so I don't see any more questions in here for Heath. And is there any more remarks about those? Okay, it's HO scale. That's very impressive. I really appreciate it. So if you have any layout, pictures, or videos that you would like to send me, you could send it to tomstrainsandthings@gmail.com. If they're too big, send me an email and I'll send you a Dropbox link so you could send it by way of Dropbox. Okay. I know I don't know why it does that. I just don't get it. Why? Okay. Okay. Wife made all the trees and built the buildings. Okay. Good deal. I had Debbie trying to build. She wanted to get involved into model railroading. So she said she'd like to try to build one of the buildings. So I gave her, I think it was a schoolhouse. And she started on it and got pretty well through it, and then ended up putting the roof on upside down, so the shingles were facing the wrong way. So then she gave up. I says, well, let me put them on the other way because that's the way they go. And I think she got discouraged by that, but she didn't like the smell of the glue, so that keeps her away from it. Okay, so Anthony says, awesome, Steeler fan. There you go. All right, good deal. All right. So I got to put this down on the bottom down here. Help support our efforts to provide you with quality videos and streams through super chat, super stickers, and all that good stuff. And let Heath know how you liked his show tonight, because most of it was his show tonight. It was basically an hour of Heath. So, okay. There, we went through one time. Okay. Oops. I know it sucks. I'm using my cell phone. That's the only way I can do this. I don't have a computer. Okay. No problem. We just make jokes about everything on here. So don't mind people in their chat, because they do it all the time. Okay, Charles Greason says, this was a good stream tonight, Tom. Nice to see another modeler's work. That's him right there, Heath. And get him up over 406 subscribers. Let's get him on his way to 500 so he can have his contest. Ball, what did I see? Ball, I'm hungry again. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me do this. Okay. I thought that was pretty impressive too. I like the special cab ride. Good deal. All right. And we got a super chat from Steeler Fan. All right. There you go. And what does that mean? We got to do this right here. Thank you very much, Steeler Fat. I really appreciate it. And that was an awesome layout that you have there. Thank you for sending all that stuff to me. And you know what I got to do? Okay. And he also got a $2 super sticker, but I can't put the super sticker down here, but I could do this. All right, and Sparky, I thought you would never ask. Okay, and we could hear Heath's dog in the background. Is that your dog there?
Yeah, I need 1 second.
Okay, all right. I'll do this while you're doing that. Okay, where is the module cam tonight? I'm glad you asked. So here it is. All right, there is the module cam, and I picked up some extra Flex Track and cork this weekend while we was out driving. We came back through Port Charlotte, and I picked up some Flex Track. I got some, what else did I get? I got two 36-foot box cars, stock cars, you know, that have the cowls in them, the real short ones. And I picked up some small servos that I'm going to use for my crossing gates. There are these little things right here. They're the 3.7 gram servos. And they had servos in there at this place, and they do mostly remote control stuff. And so, my goodness, some of those servos, the little 9-gram servos, they wanted $45 for them. I said, oh no, show me something else. But anyway, there is the module cam, and we got to get to this. I got to do my thank yous because I didn't do any of the thank yous tonight. So here is the thank you stuff. and show your support and become a member by smashing that join button. But wait, there's more. Thank you, everybody, for joining on Patreon, joining the membership, and doing the super chats and super stickers. And I got a couple of people that came in here late, and Chazco. There's so many things in here, so many things going on. I missed it, but thank you for putting that up there. Okay. Lehigh River Subdivision. They got here late. And Bernard C., how you doing? Glad you can make it, even though it's late. And I think that I just froze up here. Okay, there we go. I'm back. Okay, how are you? Was worried about, did you get wet? No. Yesterday we got a little bit of rain in the afternoon, which was about normal. But that was... wasn't due to the hurricane. The hurricane was over on the east side of Florida, which is about 110 miles away. So we weren't affected by it much. We just got a little bit more clouds than normal, but just the regular rain that we normally get every day. So thank you for asking. Okay. Great Danes. Do you have a Great Dane? Who said Great Danes?
Jason, the train freak, does.
Oh, what kind of dog do you have?
I have a pit mix.
Picnics? Oh, okay.
Pit mix.
Picks? Okay.
Pit.
Picnic? Pit mix.
A pit bull.
A pit bull mix. Pit mix.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Okay. 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 Dwight. Okay. He's got a little story here. A woman came to my door and she lives across the field from me and her dog is missing. She has a little weenie dog. If it gets in the field, it will never find its way out. That is so true. That is like mine. Tom's Hurricanes and Things. There you go. My one relatives rescues Great Danes and Greyhounds. Blooper. Oh my goodness. Okay. Pit mix. Is that a new brand of Chex Mix flavor? Okay. Okay, best blooper ever. Okay, all right, good deal. All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the Arduinos tonight, but we're running already into 9:35, so I'm just going to do a little bit. I'm not going to say very much, but here's what I was working on right here. I think the last video I put out, I did that with one push button, but I have a video that's coming out this week where I have the LEDs on the terminals of the, okay, here we go. Tortoise switch machines. Okay, here we go. I have to put this right here. My train of thought has left the station. It took me a while to figure out what they were called. And I got 4 push buttons on there. On the other video, I did 1 push button. But that's what I have been working on Arduino. And I picked up a bunch of more resistors to work on some projects. So that is what's coming up. So in the next week. Actually, the video coming out on Wednesday is going to be a teaser for joining either Patreon or the train crew, and a little bit more is going to go out to the members and to patrons. Additional footage that's going to be in for members only and for patrons only. So take a look for that if you are a patron and you are a member. And if you are not, join. What are you waiting for? And you'll be able to see stuff like that. Okay. Your background looks like my brain thinking about electronics. Oh, yeah, that little thing up there. Okay, I wonder why it's not doing that now. It's supposed to be doing that.
Stop moving.
It stopped moving, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Let me try this and bring it back over here. It stopped moving. Oh.
More bloopers.
Technical difficulties in a live stream. Oh my goodness, here we go. Okay, I've seen a thing right here. Okay, I'm curious to know if you can make the Arduino act as a signal decoder. I'm working on that, but if you go to see Jeff Bunz's articles on the magazine, the free magazine, online magazine, Model Railroad Hobbyist. He has an article in there where you could where he builds a 17 function decoder on there for practically nothing. So 17 functions on a decoder. There's a lot of things that you could do with Arduino. And what I'm doing over there, all you can see is my goggles. But let's put this over here. That is something that I'm working on. And here is another one right there. I did a couple of videos on them already, but that's basically what I'm working on to get that working for signals and for sensors and everything else in JMRI. So I'll have some videos on that shortly. This is probably where I will get into Arduino. There you go. Yes, it is. Something broke. Yep, something broke. I got to figure out. Maybe there's a time limit on that thing there. Okay. Or it just got tired. The universe has stopped. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Tom, I was wondering, do you dream in Arduino sketches?
Yes. I have trouble falling asleep at night because I'll start thinking about something and I can't get it out of my mind. And it just goes over and over and over. And so I tried taking melatonin and that don't help. That just makes me sleep all day, all the next day. So I don't know. I got to get something that, just stops my mind from thinking about things at night. But yes, I think about it. Yeah. Do you see any Arduino projects with semaphore signals in your future? I don't have any semaphores, but it shouldn't be too hard to do it. I mean, semaphore, you drive a semaphore just like you do and tortoise with a tortoise switch machine, and you could do that with an Arduino, or you could do that with a servo. So it shouldn't be too hard. But if that is a request, send me a super chat and maybe I'll buy me a semaphore, a hard to find semaphore from NJ International, probably at the next train show, which is, I don't know when. because that's the only place you could find them now. NJ International does the train shows up in Tampa because he's just north of there. Okay. All right, Stephen Rowe. Okay, there's Stephen Rowe in there. That the first video that I showed of the layout and all the stuff there, that was from Stephen Rowe. Yeah, okay, so Arduino, JMRI, Latin, all the same. Okay, I know Arduino, I know JMRI, and I know a little bit of Latin from when I was an altar boy when I was a kid. We had to do everything in Latin. Dominus vobiscum, ecum spiritu. There you go. That's the only thing I remember. That's my extent of Latin. Okay. Okay, Bill W. Hello, Bill W. Good to see you make it in here. I have 2 of Jeff's 17 decoders, using them to control turnouts, working to control signals. Good deal. All right, so they work. I'm going to have to build one of these days. I got so many things going on, projects that I'm working on. I just got a list of things that I have to do. But Pig Latin, yeah. It's not Pig Latin. I know Pig Latin too. But anyway, I got so many things that I'm working on, I just don't have enough time, even though I'm retired. You think that you could get a lot done when you're retired, and no, you can't. I mean, there's a lot of things that I want to do that there's just not enough time. And when you get old, you start to slow down too. You take naps. Okay, yeah, talking about getting old, I picked this up. I showed Heath, I got to take this off. Now, we have to wear masks here. And I'm going to put this on right there so you don't see what I'm doing. But I thought I would order a mask that would be suitable. Yeah, at 2, Brute. All right, now let me get this working here, see if I got it. Now, everybody's going to end up with big ears wearing these kind of masks here. Because they pull your ears out. So, I went and got a mask of Walter. If you're familiar with Jeff Dunnan, then you know Walter. He's the old guy. It's like that. Well, I had to get me a Walter mask. Just came in the mail today, so had to show that. Okay, so we're running on 1 hour and 45 minutes. So if there is anything else anybody would like to say to Heath or to myself, go ahead and say it now or forever hold your peace, because we're going to end this thing up. Heath, is there anything else that you'd like to say?
Just thank you, and it's been a lot of fun. Thank you.
I got to put my earbuds on to hear. I took them off.
Oh.
My train of thought has left the station again. Okay. Heath, is there anything else that you would like to say?
I was just saying that the check is in the mail.
Okay.
It should be there soon.
Okay. He's just kidding. Okay. Sounds like a mouthful of Doritos. There you go. Okay. Walter farts. There you go. Yeah, Train Freak. He's a Bubba J. There you go. I didn't see that one though. I was looking for what's the other guy's name? They had one of Peanut, but they didn't have one of Ahmed, the dead terrorist. I'd kill you. But I was looking for that one too, but they didn't have it. Okay. Naked says, this was a lot of fun, lots of laughs, and such good times. Heath is a good sport. There you go. All right. So let's do this officially. I'll put this up here. All right, so we're going to wrap this thing up. I want to thank Heath for coming on tonight and being the co-host, giving his life story on here. I think he said a little bit more than what he was planning on saying, but he took up about almost an hour of it, but that's all right. That's good to know. So if anybody else wants to hold that seat right there, let me know. Give me an email. Send it to tomstrainsandthings@gmail.com, and we'll put you on the hot seat right there. So, all right. So I'm going to crank up the music a little bit. Oh, where are we on this, huh? I know we went past 1812 Overture one time before. This is Fiddler's Barn. I'm going to put it up here where we got some good country music. We're going to do Up the Mountain. There we go. I like this one here. So I want to thank everybody, including Heath, and everybody for the super chats, super stickers, and for stopping by. I see we got about 44 people here now. We got up to 50 some. I don't see very many likes on here though, so hit that like button. Where is the like button on here? I can't see it on here, but anyway, hit that like button so I know you like it. I don't know you like it until you tell me. So let me see what's up here. 41 likes. Okay, so good deal. Thank you. Let's get some more likes up there. We'll listen to this song right here. Maybe listen to another song. Everybody say what they need to say here in the chat. Let's get Heath closer to that 500 mark. If you haven't subscribed to him already, you still at 406 right there, or did you get any more?
I'm down at 398 for some reason.
Oh, 398. Okay. Well, it fluctuates.
I went up to 409, and now I'm back at 398.
Oh, okay.
Go figure.
Okay, that happens.
Yeah.
Okay. That happens to me all the time. I lose about 20 subscribers a day, and then it comes back up 10, and I lose 20 and I go up 10. So that fluctuates like that. But go watch some of his videos and then subscribe. Okay, so it will be legitimate. YouTube does a lot of crazy things. They've done a lot of crazy things in the last 4 years that I've been on here. It was a lot better when I first started, but they keep on changing stuff. And I found out that they're going to be doing away with something else too. I can't remember what it, you know why? Somebody just told me, but my train of thought has left the station, so I can't tell you what it is. But I know there's going to be something that's going to be taken away again. But I can't really think of it. So maybe I'll remember it by the next live show. So we'll let this song run out. This one is Vagabond Trail. I like this song. So thank you very much, Heath, for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I enjoyed it.
Thank you very much, Tom. And next time I'll bring the Doritos.
Okay. I think I might send you some. So again, Demon Cracks. Okay, YouTube Demon Cracks. There you go. Hillary Clinton is check jig. Okay, Hillary Clinton. Lol lol. Okay. Good night, everyone. See y'all next week. I guess that's week. I have problems with my fingers hitting the wrong keys all the time, and my fingers go faster than my thoughts, and I do the as HTE, It just screwed up all the time. I have to go back before I click on something, click the enter button. I have to go back and check my spelling on everything. Not by USPS, they will lose the bag. Okay. Yeah, I got my Walter thing by the Postal Service. It took them a week to get here from Ohio. So they're running kind of slow. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you next Monday. And hopefully we'll get somebody else on here to take Heath's place right there. Okay. Yeah, why are you naked? Said Hillary's still not president. Hillary is checking the YouTube votes and subs. All right. Good night, all from Georgia Sunbelt. Thanks for the great evening. Okay, here we go. All right. See ya all. Oops, I got to find this thing.